Hello there and welcome to the Hashpower Academy. This is your place to learn absolutely anything to do with Bitcoin. And the topic I'd like to delve into today is navigating today's consumption society. And to navigate us through this video, I'm going to take you through a little bit of my personal story of being at university studying aerospace as a broke uni student. But at the same time, my part-time job to sustain me at university was doing logistics in London. But that role of physically solving problems, installing some of the most expensive furniture, tables, and everything else into the most expensive homes, embassies, and questionable owned stately houses in the countryside. And so what that allowed me to see is this duopoly between me at university getting all this sort of education, a very technical perspective on life, but at the same time looking at potential job roles in the future being barely $30,000, potentially even looking at $100,000 for the same role in the US. So not seeing that ability to earn. And that's what truly took me down the path of Bitcoin, wanting more for myself and to use and leverage the knowledge I had in a way that could, benefit me in life. But at the same time, the part-time role I had in London was allowing me to see the other end of the scale, the wealthiest of the wealthy with more money than they know what to do with and how they spent it inside their homes, inside all different places, businesses, corporations, and seeing how they spend money at the excessive level. Who spends $10,000 on a chair? It still boggles my mind. But there's people out there that do so. And that's the palette that we're working with today. When I was growing up, even younger, before university, I lived in London for a short period, and I even got to see people living as a whole family of like five, six in a two-bedroom, whilst also knowing people that lived in a £5 million house. And so my entire life has been this sort of wide palette of perspectives across all different socioeconomic levels, shall we say, different wealth, different levels, different incomes, having to work full time, or depending on the government, or to the all excessive scale of having a trust fund. The scale of people that I've met through life has really built this solid perspective that well, we live in a hyper consumption society, and all of these sorts of ideas I need to definitely explore in further videos. But it culminates in this aspect that I was I was studying Bitcoin at university with that very aspect of wanting more for myself, wanting to learn more, wanting to get ahead. And that's what every young person, I think, probably can resonate with as well, or anyone at the moment. Why? Why is everyone trying to get ahead or feeling slowed down or left behind, or the very same opportunities to get a house being so much more in a deposit or more working hours, years, decades just to afford the same things our parents did? It's because we live in a hyper-consumption society. But it's not the very consumption of buying things that's the problem. It's what consumes things. What is it? It's money. But here's the thing. From the 70s, or even you can arguably go back further than that, money was disconnected from a physical good. And that physical good was gold. And so when we disconnected money from reality, the physical world, we just have this database now of money. And what does money do? It consumes. Money consumes things. Money buys things. And that excessive manipulation of the very good money that buys things causes the gross amount of consumption we see in society. Flick, 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 munch, munch, munch. You can't, if I challenge anyone here, look away from your phone the next time you're at a train station or an airport or a bus, and just look up and just look out at everyone else. Everyone is on their phone. But arguably, I would say, I did speak to my grandmother the other day, and she was saying the same thing because her perspective is she hates being on the phone. And I even reminded her, I said, I'm sure there was a time where everyone on the bus had the newspaper in front of them. But arguably, you could say that newspapers do have quite a dialogue of articles, text, and information more in a formal structure versus what even the young people of today refer to as brain rot content. The fact that we can even acknowledge the content that we are consuming is brain rotting. Ah, what a world we're in. So how do we navigate this world? How do we move into the future? How do we prosper as individuals whilst recognizing that the collective group is in absolute chaos of AI threatening all our jobs, and our kids are endlessly scrolling as a way to deal with them at the dinner table? Uh, there's all these different things that it all culminates to, but I'll boil it down to this. And it comes back to that point in time that I was at university. I wanted more for myself. That's what began my education into Bitcoin, truly. And the saving aspect of Bitcoin, I think, changes people. I think people that recognize going out and working in the world, generating income out there, and moving it into this system called Bitcoin, which preserves time and energy in 21 million units, it, it just goes up because energy is neither created nor destroyed. The entire financial market is just shifting and trading what's already there. The productivity is manipulated by excessive consumption, by excessive money printing. But what Bitcoin does is it brings energy and the receipts of proof of work into the digital world to create all this digital money and constrains it to a fixed supply. And so if we save our time and energy in it, we're moving more energy effectively into the system, and the price goes up forever. It's number go up technology in the most condensed form. Now, I'm drifting a little bit, but the key premise of navigating today's consumption society is, I would say, and I please anyone interested in this idea, go into the comments and share your story potentially of how Bitcoin may have changed your spending habits. You recognize that, hey, now I can actually store all my working hours of time and energy and life away from family in something that is preserving it over time, allowing you at a later date to go and consume at things that you think are necessary to your life. You can't take it with you unless past life regressions or past life memories are a thing and someone randomly remembers seed keys. That would be the only way to prove that. But before that, you can't take the money with you. The Egyptians tried preserving things around the pharaoh in his tomb into the thinking he's going to have it in the next life. No, no, it stays here in the physical domain. And so all these sorts of things come back to, if Bitcoin helps you become more of a saver more than a spender, and the difference can be saved in Bitcoin, you're going to afford and reward yourself a life worth living, and you'll be able to make decisions on spending that money on a farmstead, a house, an experience for your family, a Christmas in the mountains. I don't know. Whatever it is and however it is, I hope that Bitcoin has helped you navigate today's consumption society by completely opting out. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.